Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and I just got back from a couple hours ago from seeing Thor Ragnarok. What did I think of this movie? Well, it's a great third movie in the franchise. Is it better than this one? No. It's not better than Civil War. It's not better than Avengers 1 or 2. It's not even better than, the first Thor, but it's still a great freaking sequel. And I'm going to say things without spoiling anything because there's a lot of things of spoiling this movie. Its connection to the next movie and everything, Infinity War, but I'm not going to say a thing. This is my spoiler-free video, and soon I'm going to be doing a podcast with my friends that will be a spoiler podcast for Thor Ragnarok. And I know, yes, I know one of my friends thinks this movie sucks. He says it's disappointing. He says it was a letdown. He likes the first two better. That's his opinion. He'll stick by it, but I love this just as much as the first two. It is way better than the second one. I can at least say that without even question. It has a better villain. It's got more action. It has less of the stupid things that were in the Dark World. And even though I didn't really miss Natalie Portman and Kat Dennings in this movie because they weren't needed. They were going to be lost in the shuffle with all the characters that are in this movie. Now, there were some things that I didn't like in it, but it was just a few. It wasn't like anything that took me out of the movie entirely. Well, there's one character in the movie that doesn't show up, but it's just a small nitpick, but it's not like, oh my God, this movie sucked because of it. No, it's just, I thought her absence was kind of, I don't know, a little bit off-putting. Just that. Also, there was a lot of going on in the movie. I think there's a lot, like too many characters in the movie that kind of just get underused. Like, the new characters are fine. I like Tess Thompson is freaking awesome as Valkyrie. Carl Urban as this guy that's bald, he's fine in the movie. He doesn't have a lot to do, but he's in the movie. Kate Blanchett is an awesome freaking villain. I think she's right up there with the Vulture from Spider-Man Homecoming. She's way better than Malekith in the second movie. She's not better than Loki, but she's on par with him. And she's a lot better than Zemo or Lex Luthor Jr. in BVS or freaking the villain from Suicide Squad. You thought the fight in Batman v Superman was awesome between Batman and Superman? This one between the Hulk and Thor is way better, and that's not a spoiler. It was in the trailer. You know they're going to fight, at least in one scene. I'm not going to spoil what happens, though. But damn, that fight was everything I wanted to because it wasn't one-sided, and I like both characters more. And I hate to say this, I know my friend Sean's going to be watching this, but Man of Steel should have taken notes from this movie. You don't give me 15 flashbacks in one movie and then bore me to death. No, there's nods to the first two films in this that keep the continuity alive from this and from Avengers 2 and everything else. But it doesn't have like flashbacks that come out of nowhere where they show Thor as a kid or where they show Loki as a kid or when they show, I'm sorry, if you're not Christopher Nolan, you can't do flashbacks as well as him. Because Zack Snyder tried with that and it failed. Here, the director, Watiti, the guy that makes a small appearance in Green Lantern. Yeah, this is not Green Lantern, my friends. This is fun. Every time Thor was on screen, I was happy. Chris Hemsworth is Thor. There's no one that's going to replace him in the next 10 years. I love his humor. I love his freaking wit. I love his screen presence. He's a better actor than his brother Liam. He has great chemistry still with Tom Hiddleston, who owns it as Loki. They're not going to find a better one. He kicks the crap out of Loki from Son of the Mask, which I never want to talk about again. Anthony Hopkins is good in a small role here. He comes back as Odin in a couple scenes. I'm not going to spoil anything. And by the way, Doctor Strange is in the movie for 2 minutes. So if you hate this movie because he's in the movie, he's in one freaking scene. He's only in one scene. Oh, they don't explain what happened to this girl. The actress was doing Blind Spot for the last 2 years, and when she did Thor: The Dark World, she got injured and could have gotten killed. I didn't want her in the movie to get hurt. A lot of the actors have probably, that work on these Marvel films, some of them get injured, and I didn't want her to get injured again. But that's all I'm going to say about that. They do mention Jane Foster in one scene, but I'm not going to spoil it. The special effects look great. I love the CGI in the movie. It doesn't take me out of it. This is basically what King Arthur and the Legend of the Sword should have been. And also, it has a final battle that's better than the one in Wonder Woman. Yes, I said it. That movie was awesome, yet this final battle let me down. Here, Thor is kicking ass and everybody else is kicking ass, so what is the problem? Oh, it's not as good. It's lame. It's mediocre. It's a red box rental. No, I disagree. Sorry, Josh. I'm sorry. I thought this was freaking awesome. It gets an 8.2 on IMDb. It deserves it. It's great. It's making money. This is the last great movie that Disney's releasing this year that they're distributing because Justice League is DC, so it's not Disney, it's Warner Brothers. And I'm not seeing Coco, and I'm not seeing Episode 8. You can't do better than this Episode 8 because this movie does its own thing. It's a third movie that's not a remake of the first two Thor movies. It has a great villain. Kate Blanchett is freaking just eating up the freaking scenery, like in a good way. And I love her makeup. I love the costumes. The costumes are phenomenal in this movie. Costume designer should get a nomination for best costume design. It's fantastic. The film is well paced. It has humor, but it doesn't beat you over the head. Remember the second movie where Kat Dennings had jokes and Stellan Skarsgård had to take off his pants and freaking that British guy that wasn't funny and then Chris O'Dowd is in a movie that for no reason in two scenes for to have friction between Thor and Natalie Portman. That's missing in this movie, and I'm glad. There's a lot of jokes here that work, and it made me laugh. And the Hulk, welcome back, Hulk. It's great to see him, Mark Ruffalo, back as the Hulk, voiced by freaking Lou Ferrigno, who's always going to be the Hulk. Was I disappointed in this movie? No. Marvel, nobody does it better. When they showed the episode 8 trailer, I walked out again. Why? Not interested. I've said a video on it a couple months ago. That movie's going to suck. That's going to be disappointing. That's going to be a movie that's going to be a red box rental. Or if not, just you see it in 10 years. Because that's what I'm going to do. I'm not seeing the movie in theaters. This is better. This was fun all the way through. I had a smile on my face at the beginning of the movie all the way to the end. And the beginning, they do kind of a Guardians of the Galaxy thing. No spoilers. They put a song in the middle of the movie, which is nice. And there's also, if you heard the trailer, there's a thing that goes, it kind of sounds like Wonder Woman, doesn't it? But it's done right. And also, it's not distracting. It's in two scenes in the movie, but I'm not going to explain. The action, like I said, there's a lot of it. It's not like the movie has action in the beginning and then it crawls. It is like, oh, there's nothing. No. Thor kicks ass when he has long hair and then when he gets his haircut, what you saw in the trailer, and he is just phenomenal. Chris Hemsworth knocked it out of the park once again. And also, the movie was worth your time. If you haven't seen this movie, go to the theater right now because it is worth your time. It's a third movie that didn't disappoint me like X-Men 3 or Apocalypse or other films. Third movies usually are supposed to suck, but this one didn't, and I loved it, and I'm going to put it in my top 10 this year. All I have left is Justice League. I hope it's good because I do not want it to suck. I really don't. DC, Wonder Woman was good. It's a great try. I enjoyed it. I have it on Blu-ray, but I didn't like the last fight scene. It was so video gamey, and it was the same fight scene she had at the end in BVS with freaking Doomsday. Here, it's much better. It's a well-shot movie. It's got great effects, great acting, great performances from the cast. The newbies don't get on my nerves, like in the new Star Wars. Valkyrie will kick the crap out of Hobo with a stick. I'm going to say that right now. I know I mention that every time. This girl's cute. She has a personality. She's strong. She doesn't have superpowers that come out of nowhere. And she doesn't steal the movie from Thor. It's still his movie. And she served her purpose. Her costume looks great. Tessa Thompson had to try an accent. She succeeded, and I liked her. So, like I said, no one does it better than Marvel. I love this movie. It's in my top 10 for sure. Because I could not be any happier waiting 11 months and not being disappointed. I was never bored. I laughed a lot, not just once or twice, a lot. And it didn't have unnecessary characters that made the movie too long. Even that rock creature in the movie, which you probably saw in the trailer, named Korg, he has a fun voice. He sounds like Taron Egerton. And he fights. And he's way better than the Thing in Fan 4 Stick. Way better. He's not wasted. He's on screen a lot. and it's voiced by the director. So I have nothing else to say. I really enjoyed Thor Ragnarok. It went out on a high note. It gave me a Man of Steel sequel that we're probably never going to get like this. If we do get it, they're going to have to make it very light because jokes work, DC. If you didn't know that, that's why Wonder Woman made over $400 million this year because it had humor. Humor will not kill a movie unless it's too much, like Batman and Robin. Here in the right time, you put the humor to lighten the tone, and it fits with the movie, and it worked spectacularly. I love this movie. I give it 2 thumbs up. It's a great freaking sequel, and it ended Thor's trilogy on a high note, not a whimper. That's all I gotta say. See you guys in the next review. Go see Thor Ragnarok. Don't see Bad Mom Christmas. It's stupid. See this. I want this movie to make a lot of money. It deserves it. It's been too long for Marvel since the summer. Later, guys.